Hi guys, and welcome to the Gin and Tonic Show. We help Muslims and non-Muslims to handle Islam in the 21st century. My name is Mustafa and this is my co-host in the nick of time. If you wish to talk about Islam, the ideology, you have come to the right place. We cover current Islamic news, Islamic scripture, some crazy comments, and a weekly topic about Islam to examine, critique, and analyze. If this is not enough Islam for you, please drop by our Discord to discuss any further questions about Islam. We condemn any form of discrimination, violence, misogyny, slavery. However, we do embrace free speech and criticism if it's factual and correct. Thank you for stopping by and enjoy the Gin and Tonic Show.
Hello, Culture Ginny. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty fine. How are you?
Doing well. Welcome to the show once again. The co-host until Moose comes back.
Yes. Your ever-loving devil's advocate for Islam here.
Yeah, we love having you on, Culture Ginny. You always provide a great perspective. So it's great to have you on to discuss a lot of these points. So today what we're going to do is we covered half of that video it's not even a video, half of that headache last week. We're going to finish off the remaining half. We're going to look at some comments under that video as well. And yeah, it's going to be fun per se. We'll see what they have to say directly. And then we'll see what their fans have to say about their reaction here. So let me just get the file up. We'll pause for a brief moment and then we'll give our opinion.
This is an Islam net from Norway.
Alright, I don't want to donate to this. Alright, so we did it until like the halfway mark. Culture Jenny, before we started, do you want to make any points about what we covered last week, or? Hello, Culture Jenny?
Oh, no, not really.
Yeah.
It's the same video.
Yeah. In recap, these ladies are basically talking about polygamy. They say that if you want to do it, at least communicate, because it can be quite traumatic if you don't communicate what you're doing beforehand. So please tell us why you seek a second wife and do it openly, and then we're more than willing to accept it. And these two assets have an issue with telling their wives about adultery, essentially. I personally believe the line between adultery and polygamy is lack of communication. If you're able to communicate and everyone's okay with it, then it's polygamy, which is allowed in the religion. If you're not communicating it, it's adultery, and we all know what the just punishment is according to religion, if that's convicted. Hello, Jen.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. We can hear you well.
Oh, good. Sounds good.
All right. So before we started, do you have any points from what we did last week before we start the continuation?
I mean, you might as well just get into what really can we say, right? The whole thing was damn near idiocracy.
For sure. So let's start playing it. Let me know when you want me to pause it, and I'll pause it and we can discuss.
What is a man who does that expecting? I think you know what he's expecting? This is my honest opinion, and this is just my opinion. We're not sheikhs here. We're not saying, it's just a discussion. I believe a lot of men who go and do it in that way, in the wrong way, and there are going to be people that are going to be saying, but you know what? Sheikh so-and-so, and Islamically, you don't have to tell your wife. But anyway, that's a side point. Let's talk morally. You love someone, you would.
You see what she's done here?
Yes.
It was a very
subtle
thing, very nuanced thing, but I think we both saw what happened.
Yes.
Sheikh so and so said something, but morally.
Yeah. So basically, what the Sheikh saying is immoral, and the moral thing to do is this.
No, the issue
So you don't have to tell the person you love that you're gonna be with someone else. All right.
But why is he acting like a sheikh can't make a mistake, or like a sheikh can't say something immoral? Like, that's dangerous. You're deifying the sheikh.
Yeah, it's almost like. Do you know who the best shake for these two is? Shake your booty.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue here.
is deep because
Yes.
what are we saying that
Yeah.
morality is to be found outside of the fatwa framework?
Yes.
Are we saying now morality is to be found outside
Yes.
of the religious framework?
Yes.
And you know how she just defined it? She
Yeah.
said that if you love your wife, X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
No, but that's not how we define our morality. In
Exactly.
other words, we don't decide what is right and wrong based on the empathetic love
Yeah.
that we have for someone. In fact, someone called Paul Bloom wrote a book called Against Empathy.
Yeah.
And in that book, he actually makes a very strong argument
Yeah.
against using empathy as a means of moralizing certain morality. For example, he
yeah.
says, if I'll give you an example, he doesn't use this, but
Yeah.
you know, I'll use it. There was
Yeah.
this young girl that got lost. Her name is
Yeah. Madeline Mac. Yeah.
Madeline. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Madeline got lost. She was a white girl that got lost. And obviously, it's a tragic situation.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was on the newspapers and that
Yeah.
she was on the front headlines, all the kind of things,
Yeah.
it made us empathize with her.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is that girls are being human trafficked. They are being sold
Yes.
into slavery, and
For thousands.
on a monthly basis from all kinds of ethnic backgrounds, not just white
Exactly.
Caucasian girls. The truth of the matter is this:
Yeah.
is that we have a disproportionate consideration for Madeline because we have been exposed to her story.
Yes.
We haven't been exposed to.
What the hell does this have to do with the main point of the video? Am I missing something here?
I think
Well, there's-
in order to play their kind of or make their argument a little bit more intellectual forward, I think that they are arguing that we should not base our morality upon our emotions, and that what she's doing here, according to them, is that she is manipulating our emotions in order that we should follow her advice.
Well, that's the reason why you can't use my opinion or your opinion on this is because if we're having a polygamous relationship, as a dude, like, yeah, it's gonna feel great, but from her perspective, she's the one that's getting cheated on by this person who doesn't tell her that he's having the relationship. So it's her emotions that are getting hurt. It's her that has the most valid point of view here. She's the one that's getting hurt, so she has the right to tell you not to do this. Obviously,
Yeah.
I can't play the emotion. She can. Like, I don't see why their thing is valid here.
What they are arguing is that emotions are irrelevant, since everything for a Muslim should be based upon the sources directly, and thus what is in the sources should determine if this is right or wrong, not her emotions or if it causes any emotional harm or like.
Oh, yeah. Jen, you were going to say something?
Well, no, that's exactly right. They're taking away the emotion, like, side of it, so you can kind of just look at it on a face value and not have like an emotional attachment, which is really kind of crappy to do because that's the entire base of the girl's argument. So they're taking that away from her right now.
Yeah. So let's continue here and see, like, let's let him finish the point and then we'll see if he can till it back in.
All these other stories.
Exactly.
In other words, we've been made to empathize with her. Paul Bloom, therefore, he makes the argument that if we were to use empathy as a means to try and moralize or generalize moralities, then it will be innumerate, it will be discriminatory, and it will be problematic for the reasons aforementioned. So when women, sorry to say, men and women, it's not just a woman thing, but women like this, for example, who are talking about polygamy and sharing their anecdotal experiences and quote unquote traumas, yes, when they are talking about these matters,
Why quote unquote traumas? It is trauma. They found out the person's cheating. Like, why would it not be trauma?
No, because they think it's okay to marry a woman and possibly have children with her and not even think of it as moral to empathize with your wife. It's insane. Like, you have this wife, so no, don't empathize with her because that has nothing to do with morality, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, this guy's an idiot.
and then they are forcing an empathetic response, or they are, let's say, generating an empathetic response from other women. What becomes blurred are the moral guidelines. Morality becomes described and defined as per the emotional feelings of that individual. How could he make you feel like that? How can someone who truly loves you do something which hurts you like that? Morality becomes defined in the way that she's just detailed. If you love someone, in conditional terms, if you love someone, why would you do such a thing to hurt them? Because doing so, according to her, would be immoral. But that formulation of morality, number one, is unsubstantiated in the academic literature. Number two, is actually refuted in the academic literature, as mentioned in the...
Depending upon definitions, when it comes to moral philosophies, it depends upon the axiomatic definitions you take and work from. And just because academic has argued against this sort of emotionalization does not mean that every academic does it. And this has to do with the fundamental principles from whence you argue that morals flow from. And just because someone's morals are wrong or someone's arguments are wrong, more generally, does not automatically mean that your arguments are right. Both can be wrong at the same time. So this is a very complex issue that he is totally simplifying, and it's going to be, frustrating to watch how it's going to turn out here.
Yeah, in culture, Jenny, small bit of advice. Only one to serve is a common troll. He's been trolling on the channel for the past 11 years or so, I believe. Yeah, what he's saying, like, don't take it seriously. He's been a troll on this channel for a very long time.
All right,
adding slightly, yeah.
So he's not a true.
No, he's a true fan. He's a true fan, but all his comments are meant to be a troll comment rather than.
Oh, so he's not a true believer trying to do things here.
No.
All right.
In the book Against Empathy is an interesting starting point.
Okay.
And thirdly, it's totally un-Islamic from an Islamic perspective.
But we don't need to. But why are you looking?
So what? No, I'm just saying that.
They just said, "Why are you looking at me?"
All I'm saying here is that if you're saying we have a paradigm, which the paradigm is the paradigm of morality, and then you have the paradigm of fatwa, or what this sheikh said this, this sheikh said that.
Yeah.
Why are you exploring a paradigm outside of the paradigm of Islam if indeed you truly believe the paradigm of Islam?
Unless you're not
and the Quran actually makes mention of this. أَمْ شَرَعُ لَهُم مِنَ الدِّينِ مَا لَمْ يَأْذَنْ بِهِ اللَّهُ. Have they been given permission, which Allah has not given them permission for? Have they created legislation which Allah has not given them permission for? So this is legislation that is coming outside of the Islamic paradigm. This is the khutura. This is the danger. This is the danger of speaking without knowledge, as they are. This is the danger of using emotional judgment. This is the danger of speaking on camera on issues that can break households and allow children who, quite frankly, women like this with all selfishness, egoism, I don't think are very concerned.
No, what I don't understand is, how are they selfish? They clearly stated that they're okay with you doing polygamy as long as you tell them before. They're not the ones that are being selfish here. You're wanting to do it without telling them.
And also, I can actually also say that there exists in, the Hanafi school, because I looked this up, actually a concept of istislah, with regards to polygamy, where the wife actually does have a right to know before accepting it, because it creates discord within the family. And it's not, from a Hanafi point of view, you could make the argument that this is not coherent with God's will of making a better society if you allow it to be interpreted this literally. And then you can argue from Qiyas and other, things about marital peace in the family, that this is not a good to do, like what they warn about when a man just takes another wife without informing the other wife or talking it over with her.
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna be real bummed out by the end of this video.
So it's not every Islamic interpretation.
Oh, it's only Mohammed Hijab's.
No, it's, some of the Hanbali school would say that this is, totally fine. And the same thing would be according to the Ijma of the Shafi'i school as well. The Maliki is so divided in subdivisions, so I didn't go into it.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna play it now and we can pause it again.
About the children, and they mentioned them in the end very passingly, but putting children in a situation of sociological disadvantage, because you're not encouraging women to be resilient on a thing that Allah allowed and the Prophet practiced. Instead, you're giving them all ammunition with the most dangerous of wording,
lethal ammunition
with micro-feministic
tendencies.
Yes, absolutely, no doubt about it. In fact, obviously, feminism is
Oh
a
shit, I played it back now. My bad, guys.
The stories.
Exactly.
In other words, we've been made to empathize with her. Paul Bloom, therefore, he makes the argument that if we were to use empathy as a means to try to hurt them, because doing so, according to her, would be immoral. But that formulation of as they are. This is the danger of using emotional judgment. This is the danger of speaking on camera on issues that can break households and allow children who, quite frankly, women like this with all selfishness, egoism, I don't think are very concerned about the children. They mentioned them in the end very passingly. But putting children in a situation of sociological disadvantage, because you're not encouraging women to be resilient on a thing that Allah allowed and the Prophet practiced.
How is it going to make the children beneficiary here? I don't understand that.
It doesn't, because they now have a part-time father. And what he's doing is saying, like, lethal ammunition. Like, why is he demonizing her so badly? How is this a life or death situation? Like, there's millionaires who grew up in single-family households. What you're literally doing to a kid when you decide to have another household. You now just made yourself a part-time father.
Yeah, no, it's... And, like, I understand... And if you're going to do that, why set it up as an entirely different household? If you're so going to do it, both wives accept each other as, like... I don't know what the relation would be called, like sister... or whatever, or something like that. They just have them all in the same household. You go to one bedroom one night, go to the other bedroom the other night. Like, that way you're always around the kids, because at the end of the day, the ladies and adult, the people who are going to suffer are going to be the children at the end of the day, right? Alright, let's continue here.
Instead, you're giving them all ammunition. With the most dangerous of wording.
Lethal ammunition.
Lethal ammunition. With micro-feministic
tendencies.
Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it. In fact, they are more, in my opinion, wallahi, uqsumu billah al-azim, and Allah is my witness, to conservative or traditionalist women. These women here are more dangerous than any feminist.
You know why?
Because they creep in.
No, you know why? Because when a Muslim woman is working...
They talk about feminists like we're like terrorists or something.
I mean, to someone that believes, I'm talking from a true believer's perspective here. I don't know if these are just grifting or if they are true believers, but let's assume a true believer perspective. You could argue that, shaking the faith of women and going against what God has mandated will lead to eternal punishment in hell. And thus, it is a, case of being even more serious than life and death. Because it's the entire afterlife of eternal torment in hell.
But what I don't get is poor lady's just expressing her opinion, and this guy's acting like he just had like a 12-inch dildo shoved up his ass. Like, I do not understand why he's getting so bent out of shape, calling these ladies like worse than feminists. They're gonna go to hell. They're like
because he thinks that these women are in a better position to mislead other women to go on the path towards hell.
How is it going to hell to ask your husband to tell you if he's going to have a second marriage?
Because they assume that asking the husbands about these things are against their interpretation of Islam, and their interpretation of Islam is the true interpretation. Thus, if it goes against that and it thus goes against Islam, it means that this is a route to hell for them.
Jen, I'll make you an offer. If we ever get married, I'm telling you if I'm ever getting a second life. I'll make that a promise
All right,
to you.
good deal. I'm down.
Alright. Let's continue with the video.
Watching a non-Muslim,
Yes.
they'll say, well, they're not Muslim, they don't understand how Islam works, etc.
yes.
When they're watching a group of our sisters who are in hijab, who are using some Islamic terminologies, they are more prone
Yes.
to take it.
Absolutely.
And that is what danger is. And
That
let's
is-
not look far, bro. When we're
absolutely.
talking about empathy and stuff like that, yeah?
Absolutely.
Didn't companions have to fight their own family members who are blood, who they loved?
Allahu Akbar.
Did they not have to do that?
Yeah, Abu Bakr
Didn't-
said, if I saw you in the battlefield, I was trying to find you in the battlefield. To his son. To his son.
Wow, thank you. Number
Thank you
two,
very much.
Didn't
Yeah, good point.
didn't know alayhi salam. We don't need to look for. Didn't know alayhi
Yeah.
salam say, "Oh Allah, did you not say you're going to save my family?" He loved
Yes,
his son. He wants his son
yes.
to be saved. What did
Yes.
Allah say? Allah subhanahu wa taala rebuked Nuh alayhi salam, and he said, "Oh no, that your family is who? The believers. Yeah, not blood. Don't think your blood." Son, he loved his son. He was upset. He was crying that, like the fact that he was drowned. But Allah had to remind him to take the naql over the aql, because if you go to the aql, what does aql say? I love him. Well, the person, Sahaba, had to fight in a battle the people that they loved. Let's carry on.
And this is a common occurrence. And quite frankly, people that convert to Islam, like yourself, you had to deal with.
Yeah,
people like yourself on a daily basis have to deal
Aki,
with
do you think-
unruly
Yeah.
and cantankerous,
Yes.
rambunctious
Yes.
individuals who make their life hell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And but
And-
they're doing it for the
and-
sake of
and-
Allah.
and we love them.
Which is why, quite frankly, we'll
Yes.
find a lot of people who
Yeah.
do practice polygamy are people from the revert community, because
Yeah.
they have decided to strip away all the cultural baggage.
Exactly.
They have decided not to listen to this kind of advice.
Wallahi, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I see more revert sisters, wallahi,
Yeah, it's true.
more humble when it comes to this thing.
No
yeah?
doubt about it.
Okay, and I don't know. Anyways,
The reason is not because they like the culture more. The reason is because they're more susceptible to being brainwashed.
I mean, you could make an argument that they try to do it because they want to follow the example of the Prophet, but
And the reason why they want to follow it a lot stronger is because they're more susceptible to being brainwashed by this.
yes.
They don't understand the history, and they don't understand the cultural.
Jen, you cut out there. You can. I'll give you some time at the end, or like when you get back home, to say your pieces, because you did cut out a bit. If you can't fix it, but yeah, or just
I'm
if
home
you
in
can
5
fix it.
minutes. Be there in 5 minutes.
All right, yeah. So in 5 minutes, just let me know. I'll pause it, and then you can say whatever you want to say. Yeah.
I don't want to get into it, man. Let's just see what else they have to say.
And maybe the answer won't be clear immediately, and you need time.
Yes.
You want to try it.
Hello. Yeah, so
it out, you want to see how it goes, you need the flexibility, you need time to make your decision. I think the second thing is talking to the women.
See how she addresses women in a way that as if they can just throw talaq on the man. What do you mean make your decision?
Alhamdulillah,
Yeah, if your only decision you have to make is to ask your husband, or go to a Sharia council and follow the procedure.
Yeah.
You do not have the same rights as a man. The assumption of equality is almost.
you have less.
I mean, he's not. I'm not saying this to defend him, but he's not entirely wrong in certain regards.
No, I agree that when it comes to physiological things, a man
No,
and a woman will do
I mean,
different things.
I mean
But,
that
like,
in Islam, women have different rights than men.
But what gets me is that they're not in an Islamic country. So in UK, in the law of the land that they're supposed to follow, women and men are equal and have equal rights.
Yes, but from their perspective, that law is illegitimate. And you should
But it's
follow
the
the
law of
law
the land.
given by God. Yes, it's the law of the land. But that's, from their perspective, since they believe in this, if we have to really. But they aren't really talking about laws, they're talking more about practices here. And I do believe that polygamy is illegal where they are, but I don't know that. But the thing is that from their perspective, if we are to take it to the furthest level, it would be that the law of the land is illegitimate, since it goes against the rights and duties that God have given. It's kind of like how we in the Western world view countries that go against the human rights and the like, as, having laws that go against human rights as being illegitimate laws. Because they go against what we assume to be the true universal legitimate laws. They just argue for legitimate laws from a god, but we argue from a kind of natural law that it's universal.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Clear in her subtext. What do you mean you make your decision? It's not, you cannot wake up in the morning and make a decision. It doesn't work like that. There are many things at play, and there are many stakeholders at play.
Yeah.
I feel like what she's doing here is she's removing all the Islamic apparatus, and she's trying to create a system of equality. Even if it wasn't in English law, she would have to go to the solicitors and she'd have to file for certain things. She'd have to negotiate certain matters. It's this false illusion that she can do what she wants.
Let's assume the best she means the choice of going the khula.
Is about this. You can, just like you said, make a choice to enter, to say, you know what, I'm down with this, I'm cool with it, I want to come into the picture of a family already and enter. You need to be educating yourself about what that's going to entail. You need to be realistic about what that's going to mean. You need to be honest about what you're actually looking for and what you're actually expecting. I don't think the old bait and switch is just going to cause trouble. I'm cool to renounce my rights. I don't need financial support. I am going to be easy. I'm not going to disrupt anything. I just need, but are you being honest about what that's going to mean? And you're cool with it. First wife is being bullied, and I've heard this multiple times. In particular cultures, it's more emphasized than others. You can't tell your family I did this. You not only have to handle the pain, but you have to keep it a secret.
So you
because
can't even
if
get
you
that
tell your
support.
parents that I did this, we know it's going to kick off.
Okay, so what's the problem with that?
Okay, one second. All right, let me get this right. Okay, look, let's make it very simple and clear.
Yeah.
Okay, I want, you know what I want from our sisters? Honesty talk. Okay, please can you do an episode? Yeah, and in that episode, please can you tell us brothers? Wallahi, we want to know. I want to know. Please tell us the right way to do it. I'm going to do it the right way. Yeah, not that I'm saying I'm intending on doing it, but what I'm saying is that please tell us, men, what is the right way to go about it without all the drama of our wife and her not telling her parents, etc. Just go away from all of that. Please can you tell us how you sisters or the females will be happy for us to practice polygamy in the correct manner? Please tell us. I bet you.
What the bloody fuck have they been doing this entire time?
I think that they have been attacking a straw man, but that's another discussion.
You you will not be doing that episode because you do not believe there is a correct way. The best way of polygamy for you guys is no polygamy. That's what it is. Best polygamy, no polygamy. That's the issue here. And what did she say? She said about being bullied. Okay, look, bro, this is the hypocrisy that I see. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Wallahi, let me tell you something, yeah? Let's go to a brother, yeah? Get the brother and go to his in-laws and say, what kind of brother is this? You like this? Yes, he's good to my daughter. He provides. He's very good. He helps us. Okay, good. Go and ask the same family and say, you know what? You know your son-in-law, yeah, he got a second wife. I've never seen any good in him. La ilaha illallah. What happened 2 seconds, brother? A minute ago, he was the best guy. Because of polygamy? Bro, wallahi. This is why the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, glad tidings to the strangers. They have become strangers, Aki. For them to practice something which is from the sunnah, and I'm talking about brothers who are good to their wives, who are just to their wives, who provide for their wives. I'm talking about these men. I'm not talking about these guys who do not pray, don't practice, they cheat, they do. I'm not talking about them. These kind of men who are practicing are being shunned. They are being made, they've been ostracized to make that you're making them feel. And then on top of that, of course, he's going to come and tell you not to tell your family because your family sees this as something ugly, as something evil. And guess what? You're probably your own dad practices polygamy. Yes, wallahi, uqsum billah. The same dad practices polygamy. Yes. He practices it, but when his son-in-law does it, that's why I did an interview. One brother, he said, would you want that for your daughter? I said, Haki, how can I stand in front of Allah and say I want it? Every man is polygamous by their nature, yeah? How can I come and say, I might do it, but for my daughter, la. Wallahi, like the Prophet, peace be upon him, said.
Yeah, no, Ali Dawah wants to raise his daughter according to Islamic standards by giving her up for marriage at 9 and then having her husband have multiple wives.
If Fatima was to steal, I'll cut her hand. We don't roll with hypocrisy. One rule for me, another rule for my daughter. No. If my daughter is happy, she's happy with it, I'll tell her, here's the pros and cons, etc. I've done it. I will not come and say he's a bad guy, he's an evil guy. This is something from the deen. How are you making it something horror, evil, bullying, spiritual abuse, betrayal, lie? Wallahi, this is like paranormal activity.
Yes, absolutely.
Wallahi, it's like...
Yeah, Walter, yeah, pretty much. Like what I see in community.
I would say that men are biologically polygamous. They want polygamy. But that doesn't mean that just because we are thinking with our reptile brains wanting it, that we want it in our minds, our thinking minds, or don't realize the consequences of allowing it in a greater society.
Oh yeah, this guy doesn't know what post-nut clarity is.
I wouldn't maybe go that far, but I'm not in that kind of a mode to really defend these guys.
Yeah, no, like what he's talking about providing this and that. If he in a place like Toronto, unless he's earned, let me tell you something super fun, Culture Ginny. I earn in the top. It's not the top 1%, but the top 5% in terms of salary, and I can barely pay rent in Toronto. That's how bad it is here. So if this guy's a millionaire, that's the only way he can support a polygamous relationship. In a place like Toronto, I'd say places like New York, Stockholm, Vancouver, bigger cities. That's the only time I would say it. But like, it's not practical unless you're in a smaller village.
Yeah.
You saw.
Yeah.
That's what you turned into.
She has.
In a moral Islamic manner.
With ihsan.
In a humane manner.
Seeing that the women are actually human beings. They're not property. They're not just nothing. They have got souls. They have got emotions. They have got thoughts. They have got wants. They've got desires. And that's okay for them to have, right? I think many of us, women and men, have yet to even fully accepted that that's the case. That a woman, you're dealing with a whole person.
Okay, no problem. You're dealing with a whole person too. Is your husband a whole person? Does he have desires and emotions?
Why is Ali Dawah getting so worked up?
It's just the sorry.
No,
It's just
go
the
ahead.
fact that like this girl is not allowed to have an emotional response, and it's so like degrading. And like I actually am feeling kind of bad for them because the response from their Muslim brothers and sisters has been abysmal, just for expressing a concern. Like, could you imagine that? This is a concern. I'm going to express it. And the reaction is, how freaking dare you? It's unbelievable.
It's so sad. I wonder how Ali Dawah deals with his wife while she's pregnant.
I mean, if he doesn't have to have the empathy for her, then he doesn't have to, right? He just has to do what his book tells him. That's all he's required to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue playing it as well. This is fun, but yeah.
Look, we understand, we accept our sisters, we accept the Muslim woman with her true nature. You are hypergamous by your nature. You look for a man who is taller than you, who can provide security, who can provide for you, who can do many things, who's more maybe a leader. You look for these properties. That's what your nature inherently has. Do we complain about it? No, we try to be that best person that we can so you can select us. Yeah? Why is it that when it comes to our nature, which is a
What gets me here is she said she didn't have a problem with it. She just wants you to tell her before you do it.
Yeah, and this is... I mean, there is no issue really in Islam of telling your wife before you do this. From where I can see. It's just not even that it should be forbidden or shouldn't be done. It's just, can you please tell me before you do it?
Yeah.
Polygamous nature, we are shunned. Why is the double standards? We accept you with your hypergamous nature, no problem.
There is no double standard here. She's asking you to tell her if you're gonna do it. She's not saying you can't do it. It's like getting mad at your mom for asking you to tell her where you are at 12 a.m. Like, she's not telling you not to be outside at 12 a.m. She's just telling you to tell her where your location is.
Yes.
Why do you not accept us with the polygamous?
Pardon?
These people are... yes, but these people are currently attacking a straw man.
Yeah.
Nature. Why are we shunned? Why are we ostracized? Why am I guilty, bro? You know what, bro? Did I choose to be polygamous? Did I choose to have this desires? No, Allah created me like that. Go and take it out. Now, if I say this, you're going to say, oh, spiritual abuse. Now using the God card. Well, you're finished. I'm asking a simple question.
I think being a
The only person that's finished is Ali Dawah.
man nowadays is spiritual abuse.
Okay, it's finished.
Well,
Wallahi,
that's good news for you.
You can't. the point here is this, yeah. No man. Let me tell you something. Wallahi, okay, yeah, okay. Let me tell you something, yeah. No man, yeah. Look, I have a wife. I love my wife. I do not wake up one day and go, let me practice polygamy and let me destroy her. Okay, what the hell are you talking about? No man wakes up and says, let me break my family, let me make my wife upset. No, what we're saying is inherently as men, we are polygamous by our nature. Okay, some choose to practice it, most want to practice it, they can't because of many other reasons, but the point is we are all polygamous via our nature. We do not do this to hurt our families. Why would I wake up one day and destroy my whole family? No. Understand that that's within our nature, okay? And if we was to go about it and do it the right way, which you guys haven't given us an option, what is the right way? Nothing. Why are we to blame? Why are we made to be evil? The question I'm asking is this: why does a good Muslim man who wants to practice polygamy...
Hey, quick question, Culture Jenny. Aren't homosexuals also made with this natural urge to be with men? Why do these guys hate homosexuals?
Because God has decided that doing the acts based upon those urges is sinful and will cause you to be burned in hell for an eternity without end.
But according to this logic, what they are doing is okay because God created that urge and they're just acting upon that urge. Why are they told to hide their urges when you're allowed to go do your own urges of polygamy?
Because God has arbitrarily decided that your urges are okay and theirs are not.
Oh, it kind of seems unfair because both are urges of the bedroom. Why are you allowed to peek into another bedroom, but they're not allowed to peek into their own bedroom?
But you remember this. It's God that decides what is fair or unfair.
So an imaginary man in the clouds decides what people can do in their house or bedroom.
Oh, for the believer, he's not imaginary, he is real.
Let's continue here.
Yes.
Become bad. Please tell me what makes him bad in a split second decision of wanting to get a co-wife. Please tell me why is he evil? Because you are brainwashed to the current standards of monogamy. Yes, monogamy is a new concept. It's a new phenomena. Not from day Adam, it's been polygamy. That is the norm. You've been watching too much Hollywood, Bollywood, and all these kind of movies that's made you to believe one man, one woman. And guess what? Most women that's watching this will know. Okay, and I'll bet anybody you have in one moment or time, practicing or non-practicing, caught your husband or your boyfriend speaking to another girl or something. Why are men doing this? Well, if there was a study done, and if the study showed that every woman on planet Earth wanted a Gucci bag, I would have to say to myself, there is inherently something within a woman that loves a Gucci bag. Why do they like it? Because it's cross-culturally, across the globe, they have this phenomena.
I think you're making a good point.
Just to finish on this, the point is this. I would have to come and say, okay, there is something wired within a woman's brain that she likes a Gucci bag. I would have to accept that reality and be like, okay, how do we...
Walter? This is... we're not atheists here, or culture jinni and Jenner the Kufars. I actually took my Shahada last week, so I am an actual Muslim. All my sins have been washed away. If you say anything else, you're an Islamophobe.
We deal with it. Okay, it's fine.
Yes.
Why is it that when a man wants to practice polygamy in a right way, you look at all the stuff...
She's telling you the bloody right way, man. I took it last week. You can go watch it on Hamza's Den. I'll put the link. We'll actually react to it to a future episode. I'm just voicing my Muslim perspective here.
Actually, I think that joke is going a little bit too far right now, if he's genuine in his questions.
Oh, okay. If you're actually genuine, I actually did to just troll Hamza's Den. I thought you were joking here. But yeah, if you actually want to provide the Islamic, we're more than happy to have you on and listen.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, that was only supposed to be a joke or something. But yeah, please do excuse me if you want to come on. I'm happy to listen to you. This is a free speech platform. We won't dogpile on you. We'll give you a handful amount of time.
And I can see to it because I am kind of the voice of balance here.
Yeah. And just so you know, I'm actually a mod, so it's not I don't like dogpile. I'm an actual mod on Modern Day Discord, on their Discord. So I actually do debates as a neutral position. So it's not, if you really want to come on and speak, I really don't mind keeping it as a neutral platform for the sake of the discussion. I do have practice doing that, so it's not a joke kind of thing for me to keep an open platform. So yeah, let's continue with this. If Kaiser Soza wants to come on, feel free. You can do so.
That you said, and then how could a man come to you and not be like, after all the bullying, all the words you used, which man in their right mind will open up to you and say, look,
yes, I did.
I want to get a second wife. Which man?
Good point. And I would say, look, there's something else I would add to this, which is that you mentioned that this has been going on cross-culturally, historically.
Yes.
Actually, I think from what I remember, Britannica University Encyclopedia, it said 85 to 95% of world civilizations before the current age, i.e. the last 100 years, were permitted polygyny. So if it's the case,
so they all do practicing spiritual abuse.
No, it's what I'm saying here. Good. It's what I'm saying is here. If this is a normal psychological reaction, in other words, to consider this to be spiritual abuse, to consider this, then we should have seen a wealth of historical evidence from thousands of years up until the present age. We should have seen a wealth of historical information, testimonials from women, all considering it to be, in your words, traumatic, abusive, using the God card.
Well, until 100 years ago, it was completely fine to beat your wife with a mop handle. So it was like, and they couldn't like come out and say it was traumatic. But we had to put in like marital abuse, domestic violence laws to help prevent that. So this argument doesn't stand.
Bullying, laying on the street and pretending to wanting to commit suicide ideation,
dropped on the floor,
all those things, all those kind of wordings that you're using. We simply don't have any historical evidence in 1,400 years to indicate anything more than the fact that yes, this did cause, and we have to be very honest and just, it does cause and did cause historically levels of jealousy, anxiety, anger, frustration, all kinds of discomfort for women, but not to the level what they are describing here. This kind of testimonial here is absent in the historical record, considering the fact that even non-Muslim societies were practicing these kind of things. Even today.
Oh wow, you're practicing kuffar ideology.
No, since it's allowed by the Quran and by the Sunnah, it is not kufr. It is, the fact is that what God allows is allowed, and what God forbids is forbidden.
Yeah.
What others does is of no consequence upon this.
All right,
I'm not for this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, let's continue here. We got like 13 minutes left, so.
Hey, I mean, you go to Nigeria. I've just been to Nigeria.
Forget Nigeria,
the Christian people were practicing it
forget
themselves.
Christian. Non-Muslims today in the West are practicing it.
Thank you very
much. What dream are we living in, man?
I don't know.
Non-Muslim,
I actually don't know.
Non-Muslim men are practicing it.
Yes, they are.
Wallahi, you got look, mistresses, girlfriends, they are doing it like it's happy days.
Or serial monogamous.
Yes, bro, serial monogamous. Why are they serial monogamous?
Yes,
why is
why?
Hugh Hefner and Donald Trump serial monogamous? Because they're looking and they're thinking their wife has reached 40, 45 years old, 50 years old, cannot produce kids anymore, and biologically, we're not having a go at her. Then the thing is here is that, hold on a second, they're thinking if I go and tell her about a second, they're like, okay, I'll divorce her. These women end up dying along with a cat. That's the reality, because a man's biology, he can carry on. So the thing is, they're thinking, okay, I'll divorce her and go get a new model. And that is what's happening. And guess what? They are practicing polygamy. What they've done is in the wrong way by leaving one.
But they get rid of, they divorce the first wife before they go to the second wife there. They cut that relationship. They cut that relationship and move to the second one. They don't have it at the people who have it at the same time are they're ostracized by society as cheaters. They're called fuckboys. No one likes them.
One wife who's given his life, breaking her. That's what you call breaking, because he is abandoning her.
That's the worst kind of pain.
Can you imagine?
He's not abandoning her. He's breaking a relationship. He's stopping a relationship.
I agree kind of with you, but you do know that in practice, some people actually do practice polygamy that are non-Muslims through having mistresses all around and such.
Oh yeah,
and
those people are called fuckboys.
No,
no one
but
likes them.
The thing is, it's more or less standard in French and in French culture and in certain other cultures in Europe that you do this.
Yeah,
it's not good, but I'm just saying that we should be aware that in practice there is actually some sort of polygamy without the rights, because there isn't, really marriage.
Oh yeah, and you bring up French people. French people can go fornicate themselves with metal stick. Piece of shit. I do them a fucking favor and speak to them in French in Paris, and they tell me to piss off. Piles of shit.
Let me tell you something. A man, another issue that sisters have is this: they think that we love the way they love. When a woman loves one person, she's bound to, because she's wide like that. She loves one man. The moment she falls out of love in one man, she tends to start her divorce period, long time, 2 years. So some brothers come and say, "Oh, my wife divorced me. I moved on fast." It's like, brother, that divorce happened 2 years ago. You're sleeping. Yeah. So the thing is, they think that's how we love. No, it doesn't work like that. For a man, it's like a woman who loves her kids. If you go and say, "Which kid do you love the most?" So I love them all.
So a woman loves with her heart, and a man loves with his penis. This is essentially what I'm getting out of this.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, so for a man, it's like that. We don't love the way you love. That's why you think when a man gets a second wife, you think he doesn't love me anymore. There's something wrong with me. Wallahi, brothers that I know who practice polygamy, most of them, when it doesn't go right, things go sour, they go back to the first wife. Why? Because they never had a problem with it in the first place.
No, because they knew they fucked up and they need to go back to the first person that actually loved them for who they are.
The point is this: they go back to the first wife. The point is, if he didn't like you, he would have left you. There's a talaq. Bye-bye, I want to move on, I'm not happy with you. That is not the case. We don't work the way you work.
That's true.
We're not wired the way you're wired.
Thank you very much. Let's hear maybe one more
One more,
contribution.
You ever dealing with a shadow? An actual human being. And to come with that level of emotional maturity, intelligence, and just ihsan.
Respect and consideration.
That was my last point.
That was your last point. Your final thought.
My final point, I think, in the cases of polygamy, the woman who finds herself in that position, like in the case of a person who's on the fence about divorce from a monogamous marriage, I think the advice tends to be that we need to maintain the institution. We need to keep the house intact, even if it's going to be at the expense of the individuals who comprise it. And I think that's a dangerous bit of advice.
Wallahi, sister, you should come off social media immediately. Wallahi, let me tell you something.
She's a homewrecker.
Because of this, no, let me tell you something. Because of this advice,
A
And you're an
homewrecker.
incel. Yeah. If she's a homewrecker, this guy's an incel.
Oh my god. A homewrecker, you know?
I don't think that words and descriptions such as incels are really, describing the problem it's here.
He's a misogynist. He's a massive misogynist. I think the only reason why Ali Dawah converted to Islam is that he can have control over the woman in his life.
I wouldn't poison the well like that. I would just, comment that this view of women does stem either from his, if we take him at face value, it does stem from his beliefs. If we take his claims at face value.
Oh, and doesn't this snapshot look like he's smoking a big old pipe of marijuana?
Yeah, kind of, but...
Oh, that's so funny. Let me take a screenshot.
I'll leave it on there for a second. No, he's telling us how to...
Alright, I'll set.
Yeah, he's telling us how to do oral intercourse.
Oh, jeez.
Now it's getting a little bit too spicy. YouTube might clap down on this.
Hey, they're already on our ass for this stuff. I see the YouTube control center, like they're already up our ass about this shit. I don't mind adding one more reason to tell the truth.
I swear to God, sister, with all due respect, wallahi, I don't know if you're going through something. May Allah make it easy on you. And I'm not trying to, and I'm not trying to belittle you here, but I'm saying this.
She's
okay,
always
well, I'm
not trying to belittle her. It's like taking your pants down and doing the dirty and then saying no homo afterwards. You did everything for the past 1 hour. And now you're saying no offense? Is this guy an idiot?
They've been belittling her from the start of the video.
In order to, be kind of kinder to him, I would say that he probably does not think that he's doing anything wrong if he's genuine. which I somewhat doubt. But
Well,
anyway,
yeah,
he thinks he's
like-
actually saving people from hell.
Well, he said no offense and thinks that the no offense wipes away his sins like saying the Shahada. Like, it doesn't work like that. You can't berate someone and then say no offense.
Being condescending, let me tell you something. For you to come and say something so sacred like the family unit, yeah? What does she say? Basically, what she's saying in a nutshell, this family unit that you have is so sacred, yeah? But don't put up with it. You know the feminist narrative? No. Yeah, Miss Independent, destroy it. Yeah, and basically she said,
How did she say destroy it? How the bloody fuck did she say destroy it?
saying destroy
Put
it.
yourself
Why?
before your children.
Put yourself before your children. This is
Yeah.
a selfish attitude.
What the fuck?
Of course
Okay,
it is. It's
it's a
egoism.
selfish attitude.
Gender
And guess what?
egoism.
It is so selfish that the mother who is being advised by this sister is basically being told that even if it comes at the cost of your children,
Yeah.
destroy it. And what you destroy? What's waiting for you better on the other side? Let's put it. Do you
Grief.
really think? No, one second.
Economic deprivation.
Sisters think.
No, honestly.
Let me tell you something. Aki, let me tell you something. Sisters think that the husband that practices polygamy, that when they divorce, they're going to go to another person that's not polygamous. I'll repeat again. Every
Thank
man
you
is
very
polygamous.
much. Yeah.
This is what the sisters don't understand. They think there is a
Yeah,
man
no,
out
it's
there,
true. That's
in
totally right.
the knight in shining armor, yeah, the white knight in shining armor, yeah. Okay, the Muslim in a thobe, should we say, with a horse, yeah. Okay, is waiting for them. No, you're gonna get the same issue in a different way. If he doesn't, if he fears you, A'udhu Billah, he's gonna go and do it behind your back in the wrong way. Or guess what? If he fears Allah, he's gonna do it in the right way. Or you know what? If he fears Allah more, he's gonna hide it because he knows if it tells you, you're gonna cause chaos, havoc. Yeah. So all I'm gonna say is to sister, I think Sumaya, her name is Sumaya.
Yeah.
Sister Sumaya, fear Allah. With all due respect, please do not ever talk about this topic. Period. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
or-
you to
or
come
any
and
of
give
these
us advice.
topics,
Look,
in
you
fact.
can come and say, you know what, it wasn't for me, or whatever, or I know somebody went through. It was very like whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Wallahi, you guys didn't talk about how it was done in the wrong way.
House
you did
intact.
a full-out attack, a lethal attack, a nuclear warhead on polygamy itself, and
It's
you
true.
turned it into a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's
And you didn't defend your point. You just attacked this poor woman for expressing her emotions. Yeah, what if she was wrong, but you didn't actually help her and do anything? You berated her.
It's kind of melodramatic. Nuclear attack. Destroying polygamy.
Yeah, let's go here.
worse than paranormal activity,
Yeah.
and you are here coming and saying basically the family,
house intact.
the intact house, destroy it. I'm so sorry, wallahi. And
Awesome,
200,000 people watch this.
Yeah.
Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, it's
A
true.
sister who is involved in polygamy, her husband is gone married again. Wallahi, let me tell you something. God knows how many marriages you destroyed.
But stop doing the spiritual
God
abuse.
knows
Stop.
how many.
You're doing too much spiritual abuse
I'm
now.
gonna do more. Let them get ready for it. Okay.
No,
Let
that's
me tell you
spiritual
something.
abuse,
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Stop
I don't
using
care.
the God card.
Call it whatever you like. Okay.
Stop it, the God card.
Call it whatever you
The fuck?
like. Subhanallah. Yeah. The point is this. Okay. Do not talk about these matters. Okay. Please do not talk about these matters. You don't know how delicate the family unit is, and you don't know how fragile our sisters are. They've already been attacked by feminists. On top of that, we have our sisters in hijabs giving advice of the intact family unit,
Can you
selfish,
imagine?
destroy it.
Bro, imagine this. Like, I'm so
La ilaha illallah.
sorry to say.
La
like,
ilaha
I'm so-
illallah.
let me say something.
And
to
you know what? One second.
Yeah, please say it.
What did
Yeah,
I say in
go
the video? They said we don't mind brothers coming. Open discussion. I would like to invite Sister Sumaya. I would like to invite all the sisters that were on there to come to have a discussion, a civilized discussion on this topic at hand. If you
Not a fucking chance. Those three ladies flee the fucking country before this man touches you. This guy is an incel, and I don't trust him in the same room as a woman. And isn't he not allowed to talk to a woman as well?
We actually know if he's an incel or not. He might be married.
Yeah, but no, this man, like, the way he's talking or being loud. I saw Mohammed Hijab talk with, what the fuck is it? Apostate Prophet, right? These two do not act well with people that they disagree with.
No, that's obvious, but you know, just calling them incels might be wrong.
Well, yeah, no, they don't. It's not like we're having a civil disagreement here, right? Like, I'll call them a piece of shit if I want to.
No, I know that you don't, but I am trying to be kind of civil here. You know, I am the kind of supposed to be the good cop, and you're the bad cop here.
Uh, oh, I got a better name than these two dildos. We got Dumb and Dumber. The Muslim Dumb and Dumber. Jim Carrey is Ali Dawah, and Mohammed Hijab is Jeff Bridges.
Genuinely care about the ummah, which we have no doubt you do, please, I will invite you. I'm doing a little new show, having a little discussion about gender roles, etc. I would like to invite our sisters to come, me, myself, you, and maybe Brother Zishan. Let's talk about this as your brothers and sisters, and let's give a solution, a correct way of practicing polygamy. I invite our sisters. That's my final statement.
I think what you said there is absolutely right. I mean, one book that's pretty easy to read about the problems of a single parent household is The Boy Crisis.
Yeah, Ali Dawah was just texting his wife, "Get back in the kitchen."
For example, by Will Farron. Now, this particular book, I don't have time to enumerate the kind of statistics that he puts in this book about how much a single mother puts a child in a disadvantage from an educational perspective. It increases their chances.
And it's not her fault, by the way. We're not blaming the mother.
Yeah, I get you. Of course not.
We're saying that's what's the consequence.
Of course, I'm saying that criminal delinquency, educational levels, all these kinds of things, you're putting them in a disadvantaged position. Before, in our history, in our illustrious history, our mothers and fathers used to fight wars for us. They used to honestly, they used to the traumas that they actually went through. Quite frankly, were something that would put us all to shame, including me and you, all of us to shame. And now we're talking about a marriage setup as if it is, a cancer or an AIDS or something like that, which will destroy you. And there's no way, there is no way of you being able to adapt to it.
No, let me give you some figures, Kids from single mother homes. 63% of all youth suicides, single mother homes. 90% of homelessness and runaway children from single mother homes. 85% of behavioral disorders, single mother homes.
Isn't that what's going to happen if you're in a polygamous relationship? Your dad's fucked off to another woman.
I mean,
and then he comes to your...
still going to be in the household. So I think that this is more of an issue about... This is an issue about... Sorry, but this is an issue about divorce. And doing, things outside of marriage, having extramarital intercourse. This is not an issue about polygamy or monogamy.
But if you're in a
this is a separate issue.
But Culture Ginny, what I'm saying is, like, if you're in a polygamous relationship, obviously you're not with the same wife all the time. You're fucked off to another wife, and you're living with that wife half the week, which is essentially you're essentially having in a single parent household.
I mean, traditionally, you have the wives in the same house.
Traditionally, but that's not what's going on nowadays. If you're doing it in secret...
But they want the traditional Islamic view of this.
Yeah. But the way that these guys are saying, they don't... If you haven't told your wife that you're having a polygamous relationship, and the second wife is hiding it, where the fuck are you putting the second wife? In the basement? Like, you can't hide it while you're having it secret. So obviously it's in a different household. And...
Yeah,
he's living in two different places, so obviously it's almost like a divorce with visitation rights at that point. So there's no difference here.
True.
So he might as well have divorced the person,
so
that she can go find a better husband who'll actually stay in the house.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's continue.
80% of rapists with anger issues, single mother homes. 71% of high school dropouts, single mother homes. 80% of all youth in prison, single mother homes. I'll give a disclaimer. I'm not saying the mothers are at blame. I'm saying it's from single mother homes. So you're basically saying that's what's intact? Destroy it. Yeah, and imagine if they all had their fathers, and by the way, this can be the father's fault. Maybe the father left and went. I'm not saying it's the mother.
Runaway fathers,
Yes, what I'm saying is the selfish decision of the father or the mother is coming at the consequences of a ripple effect of the children. You should throw your children in the fire.
It's gender egoism. It is gender egoism. It's microfeminism. Gender is selfishness. It's gender egoism. I would never give advice to anyone the way that she has right now.
Never.
And it's at the end of the day, it's individualism.
Yes.
It is egoism and individualism. It's selfish. You're teaching them selfish. You're not teaching them Islam. You're not teaching them sabr. So instead of sabr, وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا ابْتِغَاءَ وَجْهِ رَبِّهِمْ, instead of تَوَاصَّوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَّوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, instead of all of these verses in the Quran, in the beginning of the ayah, or the Quran, all the way to the end, not these ayahs. Let's instead think about counseling, maybe a secular counseling. Because as a Google culture.
Yes.
Let's think about breaking the house.
Yeah.
Let's not think about a family intact.
Yes.
This is diabolical.
Bro. You know what's very important? Just to finish on this. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Listen, look, sisters. You listen to that. Yeah. Was there one Quran and Sunnah there?
She didn't mention one ayah.
Okay, 1 second. That shows me it's
One
nothing.
hadith.
It's nothing but coming from the aql.
Not even the aql, from her emotions. It
No
only
problem.
was
No,
from the aql.
no problem.
Please break it from the aql.
No problem. Yeah. If somebody goes to a person of knowledge and says my husband got married again, and if that person speaks from the Quran, the ayahs that you quoted, wallahi, at least it would aid the woman and say, you know what, patience, calling her to truth. Yes, calling her to like stuff to maintain the family unit, etc. We're not talking about a husband that comes and punches you in the face, doesn't look after you, doesn't provide.
Exactly.
We're talking about a husband who's doing all these things, but decided to get married again. Yeah, and he's still with you. He hasn't divorced. You're saying you're my wife. I love you. And he got married again. And because of this, he is vilified, turned into a vampire, Dracula, sucking blood, a horror movie. Look at the level they went to. Not a single Quran ayah. But when you go to the Kitab of Allah, look how Allah consults you. And look how Allah tells you to be patient. Yeah? And tells you what is better. Wallahi, this is the reason why any kind of man-made law or woman-made law or any kind of opinions that is spewed out with no Quran and Sunnah, run a mile. I'm telling you, run a mile. That's what I have to say.
And I think that's a good place to end. And I think I will end.
Yeah. All right. So that's the end of the video. What's your guys' final points on that before we go into the comment section of this?
Pain. Intellectual pain.
Yeah. What about you, Jen?
So I'm gonna post a link to a study in the YouTube chat, and I'm just gonna read just the result parts.
Yeah.
So the name of the study is The Impact of Polygamy on Women's Mental Health, a Systematic Review. So the results of the study and conclusions are the identified studies are of mixed methodological quality, but generally suggest a more significant prevalence of mental health issues in polygynous women compared to monogamous women. Individual studies report a higher prevalence of somatization, and what that means is that like health issues like with no apparent cause, like no apparent pre-existing condition, just random health issues, depression, anxiety, hostility, psychoticism, and psychiatric disorder in polygynous wives, as well as reduced life, marital satisfaction, problematic family functioning, and low self-esteem. So the current state of the research reveals with moderate confidence a more significant prevalence of mental health issues in polygynous women as compared to monogamous women. Implications for practice and research are indicated. And the primary research was done, I believe, in Africa and the Middle East. So, this guy wants to pull out stats. We could pull out stats. We can see how Muslim women globally are at the lowest of education compared to Jewish women at the top. Second, unaffiliated. Third would be Christian, and fourth would be Buddhist. So Muslim women are across the bottom of education. There's reasons for this. And what I was saying about the reverts were that the reverts are probably more into it because they have not witnessed the cultural history and just the different aspects that, maybe women from Muslim lands have witnessed. Like they might be more reluctant because they see what it's done to their mothers and their aunties and the pain that it's caused them. So yeah, Western women and Western reverts in general tend to kind of go from 0 to 100, right? They take their shahada the next day, they're they have on a kufi and a thobe and a full niqab, and they're giving dawah like the next weekend. So there's like a certain kind of phenomena going on there. And again, I think it's because they haven't had to live among people who've witnessed the history of the implications that these things can cause. So I think that this reaction should be a warning to Muslim women, should be a warning to women considering reverting, that if you guys are not okay with this practice, and if you guys are not okay with your husband going to seek another wife without telling you, that it's proven here that they will be shunned, demonized, looked down on, everything that the girl said, spiritually bullied, abused, outcasted. And this is what will happen to them if they express their feelings. So that's my closing.
For sure. That's definitely fair. And if you can put the link for that study in the chat as well. Moose
Sure.
would love this video. He would probably have a lot of things to say. Alright, so let me share the tab for the comments.
And that was the one about education.
Alright, so this is the comments. So Zaid 8 says, I have to say this conversation that both of you had was incredibly disappointing. Oh wow. The sister clearly said nothing wrong with polygamy, yet you were still putting words in her mouth as if she doesn't agree with it. They were just expressing how some men use it as a way to abuse their spouse, which is true. This level of shaming people, just talking over their emotions, is a big reason why so many younger people are just quietly leaving Islam. You guys are so well educated, mashallah, yet you don't know one of the conditions of polygamy is to treat your wives equally and justly? Does justice to others and being aware of hukuk al-ibad is not a command of Islam? Is that just as you are insinuating something Islam doesn't care about? This is clearly an example of when our ummah is just focused on rules rather than the hikmah and spirit of those rules. Something that people like Imam Ghazali warned us about. So, what's your opinions on that comment, Culture Jen?
Sorry, I'm trying to see it. Did you post it?
Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Scrolled down by accident. Let me pull it back up. Yes. So this is the comment right here. Can you see it?
All right.
Let me zoom in here. Is this any better?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Jen, are you okay with me putting your studies into the public chat for everyone to see?
Yeah, I thought I did that. Did it not
Oh,
go
you
through?
put in the private chat, not the public chat.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, so I'm putting it in the
Yeah,
public
go
chat
for
right
it.
now. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought I
I'm
did
seeing
that.
it.
Sorry. All right.
Yeah. So, what's your opinion about the comment that's up?
I mean, I'm glad
mean-
someone sees it, right? It's
Yeah.
just a ray
I
of
mean,
hope.
this is also the thing that a lot of these issues aren't exactly new. And even in early, Islam, it wasn't like, oh, you can just do polygamy willy-nilly. You had actually to somewhat consider, the consequences and, family cohesion and such.
Yeah. So let's go to the next comment here. As a brother, I have to accept the fact that I can see where these sisters are coming from. I can't possibly put myself in their shoes. Are there robots that they can't verbalize their emotions? May Allah grant us the ability to be compassionate on how our mothers and daughters may express their feelings. And how the fuck is this guy a Muslim with the name Stalin? Isn't he supposed to be like anti-Stalin? Let's get over that. At least I agree with him here. I didn't see anything wrong with what the sisters said. They approached the topic in a mature way. They have voiced out the realities of polygamy and what it does to women. One of the effects of polygamy that needs to be addressed is the effect it has on children. Children become insecure and tend to overthink. They feel less loved by their father, and some children end up villainizing them. Men should consider this effect because it's less talked about. They should consistently show and remind their kids that they still love them because kids also feel betrayed.
Wow. See, I'm really that like I didn't even bother reading it because I'm used to just their comment section being a huge echo chamber, like circle jerk. But I'm really glad that they're getting pushed back on this.
A reason why I believe a man should let his wife know of his intentions to remarry is to explore the reasons why he wants to seek another wife. It opens up a dialogue. Yeah.
Dude, to be honest, our own comment section here are also kind of a circle jerk. It kind of happens with these topics that you kind of polarize into circle jerk corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today's episode and such. We covered the topic. So next week we're actually going to be doing Egypt. I'm going to be talking about the dynastic Egypt. So until the Ptolemaic and the Roman conquest, and after that, Culture Jenny, I believe you're doing Islamic Egypt as well as the second half of it. So next week's going to be a great episode. Please, everyone, come in and watch it. And then on the 15th of October is actually the 11-year anniversary of the Gin and Tonic show. So,
Jeez, 11 years. That's sick.
Yes.
Good God, man. That's awesome. When is that? October what?
15th.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, I'll put a vote on the show, the community post. If the majority of the audience wants to see me in a sexy Satan outfit for this as a charity.
Please, no.
So my goal is basically do an atheist cam show.
No. I have to act like the decency police right now. Bad. Bad. No.
Yeah, no, the actual idea that I had was we would do I want to do a fundraiser on behalf of Gin and Tonic. And then I was thinking of what's the most satanic atheist way, anti-Muslim way that I can do it. And it's me dressing up as a sexy devil in a cam girl overlay, collecting money.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you say banned from YouTube? You're trying to get the channel banned and it's 11
I will whack you with my metaphorical stick.
11th anniversary. Let's shut this bitch down.
No, I won't do that.
Way to go, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll never know. But yeah, yeah.
No Slaneshi bullshit.
Yeah, we have a big day prepared for that though. So hopefully we'll get everything going. We'll invite the Godfather Stop. We'll see if we can get other previous hosts that were on as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get Rob back for one ep hopefully on the anniversary he'll come back.
Yeah, I'll see if I can reach out to him. Stops, I definitely am in contact with. I'll get in
I'm in
touch with
contact
him.
with Rob. I can message him.
Sure, yeah, if you can message Rob as well, just be like, hey, it's the 11th anniversary.
October 15th at what? Do you guys have a time yet or no?
It's going to be the same time. And Moose, that's an oxymoron. Nick and sexy do not go in the same sentence. So it's... So you can shove that statement up your ass, alright?
Aboard.
Alright. So yeah, take care, guys. Like, this was a great show. I'll see you guys on the Discord. Just in case anyone doesn't have the Discord invite, I'll put it in the chat here so people can jump on. But yeah, this topic got me really riled up.
Well, I just think it's a lesson to people on both sides, on all sides, you know? It's even a lesson for Muslim women. Like,
Yeah,
if
it
you
definitely
complain,
is.
yeah, this is what happens when you complain.
It gets me that you're two of the biggest Islamic channels, the representative of Islam, the people that watch, the people that most Muslim people watch, are saying this about polygamy. They don't give a rat's ass about the woman's opinion.
Yeah, just shut
So
your mouth and get back in the kitchen, basically.
yeah, yeah, I hope this brings a message out. Anyways, we'll shut down the show. We'll meet in Discord in a brief second. I'll go get myself
Alright.
some tea.
Thanks for having me, guys. GG.
No
See
problem.
you.
We like having guests on here. And I'm trying to keep it civilized, but my co-host might not always be that civilized. But we try to make it good
Dude, I'm
here.
not OG. You guys are fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And Jen, I swear, if I'm ever in a committed relationship, I will tell my partner before I go into polygamy.
Just that, I mean, a half a teaspoon of empathy is all that's being asked for, and the poor girls are getting shat on. Like, Christ, they committed kufr. They're like the movie Saw. They're lethal. They're fucking like all they're asking is for
How dare she bloody ask me?
conversation. Like, what the fuck?
How dare she bloody ask me to take permission, have a second wife? She's
I mean,
breaking
just
my household.
at least have a conversation about the thought about it. Fuck, like, it's not too much to ask, It is a major life-changing decision, so.
Yeah. Anyways, and let's end the broadcast.